Hello, Claire and Mum. I'm going to do a little video demonstration for you on how to change your flat tire. So the tools you'll need are some tire levers. They'll kind of look like this. You'll get them in packs of 3 usually, and you want to use all 3. Now you'll also need a pump, and then a new tube. Okay, so since it's your rear wheel that has the flat, we'll need to remove the rear wheel from the bike. So to do that, you'll just flip your bike upside down, just like this. That way we can work on it. Now we're going to take the rear wheel off. To do that, the easiest way is to first shift your chain down to the smallest chainring. So you see right now it's not on the smallest chainring. So if I pedal, and make sure when you pedal that it's actually moving the wheel, as I pedal, I'm going to hit the shifter and have it shift down to the smallest ring, just like that. Okay. Now, to remove the wheel, you're going to have to open your quick release. So the quick release is the lever which holds the wheel onto the bike. So if I just lift the lever, now everything is nice and loose. I come around to the other side, and then there's a nut on the other side. So I'm just going to loosen that nut by a few full turns, just like that. Now I should be able to pull my wheel off. Now to do that, I'm just going to grab either side of the axle and I'm going to pull up like that. Okay, so it's going to pull out of the frame. Now the problem is that my derailleur, so this thing here, is actually going to prevent my wheel from coming off really easily. So what you can do is just pull that back or swing it to the back like that, and then I can just pull the wheel up and out. Now one extra thing here is your brakes may still be hooked. So to unhook your brakes, on your bike you'll just need to lift a little lever. On this one I have to squeeze them together and pull it out. Now or since you have a flat tire, you can just let all the air out of your tube. That's what I'm doing here. You'll have a flat tire, so you should be fine without even loosening your brakes off. Okay, now swing your derailleur back, pull your wheel up, and it's going to come out really easily. Okay, so now I've got my wheel off, and I've got a flat tire. So what do I do? Basically, I need to use my tire levers to get into the bead of the tire, so that the tire has 2 sides to it. That bead hooks into the rim. So I basically need to unhook it from the rim. So I'll grab my first tire lever. I'm going to go on the opposite side from the valve. So up on the opposite side. I'm just going to pinch my tire, pull it back like this. Then I can see the bead. Put the tire lever under the bead, like that, and lever it down. Now you can use the hook on the tire lever to hook it to a spoke, and it'll stay there. Then I can grab a second tire lever, and I can go, and in this open section of bead, I can feed that in as well, hook it down, and hook it as well. Then I can grab my third tire lever, I can work it in also, hook it, the middle one will fall out, and you can just kind of ladder your way around like that till it comes off. Now if it's really stiff, there's a good trick you can use to get it off. And that is that you would peel your tire like you would a potato. So if you grab your spoke in your hand like this, put it in your spoke, put it in your tire, then you can grab the spoke with your thumb and you inch your hand along like that. Now once you've got it going and the bead is coming off, really easy, you can just get it to come out all the way around. just like that. Now, I can just pull out my tube. So the tube is on the inside here, and it'll just tuck out, like so. Now when I get at the very end, you may have a ring on your tube. So that's this little ring here. You just have to remove that. That ring will come off. And then I can just pull the stem out, just like that. Now your old tube, you have the option of patching it, but the safest way to replace your tube is to to fix your tube is to just replace it with a brand new one. So Mum should have bought a brand new tube for you. So when you get your new tube, you're going to pull it out, and before you do anything, you just want to inflate it just a little bit. So you don't want your tube to be completely flat, because what happens when you put it back in your tire is that it's going to end up twisted. So go to your pump, and you're just going to put a little bit of air into the tube, just enough that it holds a nice round shape, just like this. Then you can close the valve, and we can go put it back together. Now really quick, before you put back together your tube, you want to inspect your tire. So whatever caused your flat, say you've got a nail or a tack or a needle or whatever it might be, whatever caused your flat, if you don't fix it or remove it from your tire, you're just going to get another flat. So carefully run your hand along the inside of the tire, like this. Make sure that there's nothing sharp or pointy in there that might have caused your flat.
Yeah, carefully.
Yeah, if there's like glass or something, don't cut yourself as you do that. Look at the tire, look for any kind of holes or wear or anything that might cause a flat as well. And you can also look at the rim and look for anything sharp. Whatever it is, fix it or replace it or do whatever you need. But once you're satisfied that everything is nice and secure, then you can go to your new tube and put it back together. So I'll take my new tube, just a little bit inflated, then I'll find the valve hole, and I'm just going to pull my tire back. So valve hole, pull the tire back, and then I can slide the stem down into the hole. Now once I've got it slid, once I've got the stem in there, then I can tuck the tube up inside the tire all the way around. And you want to work with both hands here and work kind of both directions at once, tucking the tube up inside the tire. Like that. So now my tube is all the way up inside my tire. Then all I have to do is put the tire back into the rim. So start at the valve, and I can go and I'm tucking the bead of the tire back into the rim. Again, I'm working with both hands all the way around as I tuck it in like that. Now, at the very end here, you're going to have a little bit of bead left over. And this part is always hard to get back into the rim. So to help get it back in, if you hold the tire out in front of you, then you can push with your thumbs on the bead and twist with your wrists as you push with your thumbs. And this is going to help you get more leverage to get that bead back on. So it's going to look like this. So as I get near the end, then I push with my thumbs, I twist with my wrists, and it'll pop back in. Now this takes a little bit of strength sometimes, so if you have a hard time doing this, then there is another trick you can use, and that's called I like to call it the pump technique. So you'll take your pump, and then you're going to take that exposed bead on your tire, you're going to put it on the ground like this, put the edge of the pump on the bead that hasn't popped back into the rim. Then you can stand on the pump, and I'm just going to use my whole wheel. You see I'm sliding that down to the ground, and it's going to pop the tire in.
That's cool.
It is really cool. Okay, so now that my tube's inside my tire, then I just want to go and give it the spa treatment. So basically what I want to do is make sure that the tube isn't stuck underneath my tire anywhere. And then when I inflate it, I'm just going to get a flat. So just go all around the tube and tire and just give it a little massage to make sure that it settles in. Okay, I'm satisfied, and now I can inflate my tire. So the best way to do this is to just lean it against something. Take your pump, open your valve, stick the pump on, and then pump it up. It's a lot easier to lean it against something than try and hold it with one hand as you pump with the other. This way I can get both hands in the pump and get as much leverage as I can. Now with your tire, you're going to want to pump it up to about 100 psi.
You can also find that by looking on the tire.
Yeah. So on the tire, it will say maximum inflation, minimum inflation. And you want to go to somewhere within that range. Okay, you can remove your pump and make sure, never forget to close this valve, because if you don't, anytime anything touches it, air will come out. So close that valve, and you're all set. Now just quickly have a look at it, make sure nothing's wrong, and you can go put it back on your bike. So to put it back on your bike, you go back to your bike over here. I'm just going to line everything up. So I put my wheel in there. So my cassette, which is this body of gears here, all these cogs should be in between these two bits of chain. So see right now it's above those two bits of chain. I want it to be in between. So if I lift that top part, there we go. Now this bottom part of chain here, you want to put that on the smallest ring.
Does it matter if you put it on the wrong ring?
It doesn't really matter, but it's going to help if you put it on the small ring. So whatever this top part is doing, it doesn't really matter, it's just the bottom. Then, remember how we had to swing our derailleur back to get it off? We're going to have to do the same thing. So you grab your derailleur, you're going to swing it towards the back of the bike. Now your cassette goes on that chain, and all you have to do is just push your wheel back down into the bike. And actually it's not going to work because I didn't unhook the brakes. There we go, open those up. Now swing your derailleur back, cassette on there, and I just have to push it down and it will pop into place. Just like that. Now make sure when you put your wheel in that it's all the way into the frame. We don't want it hanging in by only a little bit. You see how I don't want to be able to see a gap down there between my axle and the frame. So it should be all the way secure in there. Then you can tighten the nut on the one side of your quick release. And that should allow you to close the lever, and as you close the lever it should get snug and attach your wheel. You want it to be snug so that it stays on there nicely. Shouldn't be so tight you need a hammer to close it or anything. But it also shouldn't look like this, where it can just, see how it just flaps open all over the place? I want to make sure that it is actually holding my wheel on, because the last thing you want is for your wheel to come off when you're riding the bike. So I attach that, then I can just quickly give my wheel a spin. Whoops, I quickly give my wheel a spin. Like that, make sure everything's working okay. Then all you have to do is just flip your bike around, So flip your bike around, and you're ready to ride. Ta-da!